loves, it's Denise and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I'm not as glammed up as I have been in past videos, but today's topic is very personal and I kind of felt like I wanted to be a little more stripped down when I talk about this with you guys. So this has been something that you guys have asked me to talk about for quite some time now, but I haven't really addressed it, probably because I am pretty much ashamed. Back in March of 2015, I realized that I was the heaviest that I had ever been. And since then, I've made some dramatic changes in my lifestyle that really helped me improve my health, my overall fitness, as well as my diet. And with those new things in place, I ended up losing 40 pounds. I will add a picture here for you guys so you guys will see what I did look like at my heaviest. It is so embarrassing that I have that picture, but I do look at it from time to time just as a reminder of how far I've come. And I just want anyone out there who is struggling with their weight or just their health, wellness in general, you know, you're not alone. This is definitely something that I've struggled with my entire life. So before I get into my health tips, I just wanted to say that I am not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian. I just wanted to share with you guys the changes that I've made in my lifestyle that has helped me, and hopefully they might help you as well. If any of you also read my blog, I have talked about this before, and I will link that article down below if you guys wanted to read more about it. In that video, I talk more about my relationship with food and how I sort of got to the place that I was. So my first tip is to find your long-term why. So by this, I'm saying that, you know, a lot of the times we do like yo-yo dieting just for short-term results. So, you know, you go on a juice fast right before you go to Vegas, or you want to look skinny for Coachella, whatever the reasons may be. But on the flip side, when you find your long-term why, it helps you stay motivated and disciplined and has you working towards something bigger and more important. So my long-term why is simply because I love and care about myself. I'm never going to be given the opportunity to live in another person's body. So the only thing I can personally do is be the best possible version of myself, take care of myself, and keep myself in the best health possible. My next tip is to redefine your relationship with food. So growing up, for me, food equaled happiness. Every single time I did something well or I was just simply happy, I wanted to go out and eat something delicious. And, you know, that obviously led to really unhealthy habits where I was eating around the clock. The happier I was, the more I wanted to eat or indulge myself in these delicious treats. Particularly back in 2015 for my birthday in January, a bunch of my friends know that I love chocolate, and I ended up with a drawer filled with chocolate in my nightstand, and every single day I would eat chocolate and drink tea. So just by knowing that alone, I quickly gained weight at a rapid pace, way faster than I ever anticipated. And from January to March, I had hit my highest weight ever. And that's when it really hit me that my relationship with food was really unhealthy, and, you know, I wanted to take care of my body, and I no longer wanted to associate the fact that I was happy with the need to eat something. My next tip is to drink water. Majority of the time, you're not really hungry. A lot of the times you are just dehydrated or thirsty. So what I like to do is I have my water bottle with me at all times of the day, and I constantly refill it. And with that, I make sure that I'm always hydrated, which is also amazing for your skin. And it also prevents you from any unnecessary snacking. So next time you're craving something like chips, try drinking a glass of water and waiting a few minutes and check to see if you're still hungry. And if you are still hungry, maybe rethink that bag of chips and maybe grab a piece of fruit or something like that instead. My next tip is to redefine your idea of what a diet is. So usually when we think about a diet, we think about restricting, we think about cutting out carbs, we think about not eating any junk food. How I think of my diet is your diet is what you eat, period. My diet is actually just the foods that I choose to eat. So instead of restricting myself, I like to surround myself with healthy foods. And if I do have a craving for things like junk food or fast food, I go ahead and let myself indulge a little bit, but I do stay mindful and I make sure to only do that every once in a while, not an everyday thing. I think being mindful of what you're eating is super important. I like to make sure that I have either a fruit or vegetable with almost every single meal, and that just really helps make sure that I'm incorporating fresh fruits and veggies all throughout the day. One really key thing to remember is that 80% of how you look is based just on your diet. Your actual physical activity only amounts to 20% of the way you look. So that diet piece is really, really important. There's no way that you can out-work out a bad diet. So, back in March of 2015, where I was eating chocolate almost every single day, I was still working out, but I was eating so terribly that there was no way that my body could possibly balance how much bad food I was eating with my physical exercise. My next tip would be to not eat until you hate yourself. So by this, I mean don't overeat. Ideally, I like to eat until I feel about 80% full, where, I'm not quite hungry anymore. I could probably eat a little bit more, but I like to keep that extra space in there so that I don't feel so full that I absolutely hate myself. And this is just a really great way to make sure that you don't overeat. And what's nice about not overeating is maybe later on in the night where you want a small sweet treat, maybe you can have that because you're not super full off of dinner. My next tip is just to move. So no matter what it is, try to move every single day. So I personally work out every other day. If I don't have a specific workout, I like to aim to have 10,000 steps just to make sure that I am moving throughout the day. So to keep track of my steps, I do have a Fitbit Blaze, and what's nice about my Fitbit is it also has reminders 10 minutes to the hour to just remind you to get up and move, which is great. I prioritize taking a walk midday. I also walk my brother's dog all the time. Just moving my body and making sure that I hit those 10,000 steps is super important for me. My next tip, if you particularly don't like working out, is to find workouts that you do love and then prioritize them. So my personal favorite workouts are bar and spin class. So my favorite bar class is bar 3, and my favorite spin class that I take is Soul Cycle. So to get my workouts in, I personally use ClassPass, and ClassPass is just a service that allows you to book different classes at various studios in your area, and each class is worth a specific amount of credits. And each studio you can visit up to 3 times per cycle, depending on which type of service you have. I will leave more information about ClassPass in the down bar below so you guys can check it out, just in case that'd be something that you guys would like to try as well. So I find that when you find the workouts that you love to do the most, you're more excited to go and do them. And with ClassPass, what I like is that if you cancel last minute, you are charged for it. So it really forces you to commit to your workout, and otherwise you literally have to pay for it. And my last tip is just to listen to your body and rest when you absolutely need it. So I work out almost every other day, and when I don't have a workout, I do little exercises in my living room, or I take really long walks, I go hiking. And working out constantly really is draining for your body, and you definitely do want to listen to it when you've been sore for maybe too long, and maybe you will benefit from having a massage or maybe taking a bath, and just really listen to your body and understand when you do need a break, because you won't get stronger unless you give your muscles the time it needs to repair and get stronger. So those are all of my tips, guys. As a reminder, I am not a doctor. This is in no way a specific physical regimen that you should follow based on my expertise, because I don't really have any. And I also want you guys to know is I lost the 40 pounds that I lost within the span of a year. So the process definitely does take time, but I promise you, as long as you take really small steps towards bettering your health, your diet, your fitness, whatever it may be, the weight will drop off on its own, just as long as you're really taking care of yourself. I know some of you guys are interested more in my actual what I eat, like my diet and my fitness routine, and maybe what I carry in my gym bag. I will also address those things in a separate video, but for now I just wanted to give you my tips and really talk to you guys about my fitness journey towards wellness and how I was able to drop 40 pounds. But I guess that's it for today's video. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching, and I will see you next Monday. Bye, guys.